राम राम सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः। शिवानन्दलहर्याः कक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. Today is the 53rd session of our Shivanandalahari course. We had a Punaravartanam revision session last week where some of you chanted individually, and we also have completed 80 verses. So we will commence learning from the 81st verse today. We have 20 more verses to go. Shivanandalahari has 100 verses in all, as you all are aware. Let us begin as usual with Guru Vandanam. A warm welcome to our panelists also. For today, we have Charu and Aditi, who will be assisting us with the Anucharanam. Prarambham Kurmaha. गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सौन्दर्यलहरी कर्त्रे सर्वमङ्गलदायिने शङ्कराचार्यवर्याय यतिराजाय ते नमः शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तं नृसिंहगुरुं भजे श्रीसच्चिदानन्द शिवाभिनव्य नृसिंह भारत्यभिधान्यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानवशम्भुरूपान् सदात्मध्याननिरतम् विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखम् नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातम् चन्द्रशेखर भारतीम् विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वन्तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे भारती करुणापात्रं भारतीपदभूषणं भारतीपदमारूढं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये भारतीतीर्थपर्यन्तं भक्तहृत्तापनाशनं भवभीतिहरं देवं भावये सततं हृदि विद्याविनयसम्पन्नौ वीतरागौ विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञौ विधुशेखर भारतीम् अनन्तगुणसम्पन्नामनन्ताभिधयाश्रुताम् अनन्तज्ञानदात्रीं तां मातरं प्रणुमो वयम् गैर्वाण्या संविबोधेन जीवनं मौल्यसंयुतं या करोत्तान्नमाम्यम्बां शारदामूर्तरूपिणीम् कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृतशशिकलाभ्यां निजतपः फलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्यामानन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यान्नतिर्यम् चारु, 81st verse. Kanchit kalamuma mahesha bhavatah. Charu, unable to hear you, unable to see your video also. Okay, Aditi. Kanchit kalamuma mahesha bhavatah.
कञ्चित् कालमुमामहेश भवतः कञ्चित् कालमुमामहेश भवतः
पादारविन्दार्चनैः
पादारविन्दार्चनैः
कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः
कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः
कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः
कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम्
कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम् कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम्
यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः
यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः
जीवन् समुक्तः खलु
जीवन् समुक्तः खलु जीवन् समुक्तः खलु
उत्तमम् कञ्चित् कालमुमामहेश भवतः भ इस् महाप्राणा पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चित् ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः प्लीस् नोट द महाप्राणास् कञ्चित् ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः हियर् the word is samadhibhishcha. We should not chant it as bhis. Okay, it's not sir there. When you chanted individually last class, some of you I made this observation. When we have Sha, Shiva, Shankara, Shivanandalahari, this is the same Sha here. It is also represented like this. And we have to chant it as, pronounce it as Sha, not samadhibhishcha. That would be wrong. This Sa is different from this Sha. Kanchit dhyana samadhibhishcha natibhihi kanchit katha karnanaihi tha is mahaprana kanchit kanchidavekshanaischa nutibhihi kanchit dashami drishim. So multiple times you have this sh being used. Please note the pronunciation. Here kanchit kanchidavekshanaischa. This ksha here is a combination of ka and sha, shanmukha sha. The second one, sha sha. That is the sha here. That is a samyuktaksharam. That is a conjunct consonant. Kanchidavekshanaischa. That perfect pronunciation you must get of the letters. Nutibhihi kanchid dashamidrishim yap prapnoti. Upadhmaniya followed by pa. Yap prapnoti muda. Tvadarpitamanaha Jivan Samuktah Khalu. Here, Visarga followed by Kha, Jihva Muliya, Muktah Khalu. Astu. It's a very, very wonderful verse. We'll see when we do the meaning. So we will do one pada at a time. Kanchit kalamuma mahesha bhavatah पादारविन्दार्चनैः
कञ्चित् कालमुमा महेश भवतः पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चित् कालमुमा महेश भवतः पादारविन्दार्चनैः
कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः
कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम्
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम् कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम्.
Uttamam. Another thing which I thought is relevant to point out here, Kanchid Dasham Idrishim. Here, Kanchid the, this is the and the Samyuktakshara. So this is a conjunct consonant here. Kanchid Dasham Idrishim. Here, this Dr is not a Samyuktakshara. It is a Gunitaksharam. Okay. Da, da, di, di, do, Dr. That Dr here. Okay, like triptihi, that rikara which you get, Krishnaha, that rituhu, that r we see here. So, while chanting, we should not give a dvitvam there. We shouldn't say kanchid dashami drishim. That I exaggerated a bit for you to know. It is not idrishim. There is no samyuktakshara there. So carefully we must pronounce kanchit dashami drishim. So here there is that double the. Here no double the. Idrishim. That dr is a gunitaksharam. Ya prapnoti mudatvadarpitamanaha jivan samukta phalu.
यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् समुक्तः खलु यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् समुक्तः खलु.
So khalu, when we chant, again, please note all of you, it is a hrasva, short vowel. We should extend it. Now we'll do half verse at a time. Kanchit kalamuma mahesha bhavatah padaravindarchanaihi kanchid dhyana samadhibhischa natibhihi kanchit katha karnanaihi.
कञ्चित् कालमुमा महेश भवतः पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चित् कालमुमा महेश भवतः पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम् यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् समुक्तः खलु.
कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीं यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् स मुक्तः खलु कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीं यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् स मुक्तः खलु
उत्तमम्। कञ्चित् कालमुमामहेश भवतः पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चित् ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीं यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् स मुक्तः खलु
कञ्चित् कालमुमामहेश भवतः पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चित् कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीं यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् स मुक्तः खलु
उत्तमम्. Very, very wonderful verse. Uma Mahesha, referring to Parameshwara along with Amba, Samba, Shiva Shaktya Yuktaha, Shiva along with Shakti, along with Parvati, Mallikarjuna along with Brahmaramba. So look at that addressing here. Uma Mahesha, Hey Uma Mahesha, Parvati Parameshwara, Parvati Sahita Parameshwara, Kanchit Kalam Bhavataha Padada Vindarchanaihi. Kanchit Kalam Dhyana Samadhi Bhihicha. Kanchit Kalam Natibhihi. Kanchit Kalam Kathakarnanaihi. Kanchit Kalam Avekshanaischcha. Kanchit Kalam Nutibhihi. Kanchit Dasham Idrishim. Yaha Muda Tvadarpitamanaha Yaha Muda Prapnoti Jivan Sa Muktaha Khalu. Okay. Beautiful verse for many reasons. In Advaita, in Shankaracharya's Shankara Bhagavat Pada's philosophy, Shankara Darshanam, in Advaita, a very important concept, very unique, is this concept of Jivan Mukti, liberation while we are alive. That is why this verse, it's so prominent, because it has this concept of Jivan Mukti woven into this verse. Jivan sa muktah khalu. Jivan, while living, saha muktaha, he is liberated. Khalu, isn't that so? So Jivan Mukti, you all please go and read up on the concept, a very deep Advaita concept, but beautifully he has woven it into this Bhakti Shastram of Shivanandalahari. That is the greatness of Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya. And a Jivan Mukti is a state where the Jiva has this body and is liberated. Meaning once the Jiva attains Atma Jnana and attains that realization of Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham, and is in that state of Shivanandam. Once that state is attained, that itself is Mukti. What a great concept this is. We don't speak of Mukti after death or in some other world or after going to some other loka, swarga. No. Jivan saha muktah khalu. With that itself. So, Ajnana nivrittihi. So once that Nishchala Tattvam is attained, Nishchala Tattvam, that is that clarity of that truth, that aham brahmasmi, once you realize that, that is Jivan Mukti. The minute ajnana is dispelled completely, ajnana of thinking this is, I am this body, identifying myself with this body. Once that ajnana is gone and you realize that truth of Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. Minute that jnana dawns, that very moment that jnana dawns, that is Jivan Mukti. In Mohamudgaram, also Shankaracharya says, Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nishchalatatvam, nishchalatatve jivan muktihi. In satsanga, among the company of the holy, pious Mahapurushas, nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, you get, the delusion goes away, that moha disappears. When that moha delusion disappears, what happens? Nishchala tattvam, you get that clarity of tattva, clarity of that truth. That truth, the mind is clouded with ajnana and avidya. Therefore, we are not able to see the truth clearly. When there is a mirror, if you have any, dust particles or anything like obstructing the mirror in front, dust or anything like that, or some oily substance, grease, will you be able to see the reflection clearly? No, because that is obstructing. The minute the mirror is cleaned completely, that crystal clear image is obtained, bimba pratibimba, right? So similarly, when the mind is clouded or there is that aropa of avidya and ajnana, we are unable to see the truth. But the minute that ajnana, avidya goes away, the truth dawns and that nishchala tattvam is attained. Once you attain that state of nishchala tattvam, unwavering clarity of truth, self-realization, of understanding Shivoham, attaining Shivanandam, Jivan Muktihi, Nishchala Tattve Jivan Muktihi. In that state, that itself is Jivan Muktihi. Jivan is a present continuous tense in Sanskritam, meaning Shatra Pratyaya, that is continuous tense. Jivan, living only, living with this human form. Muktihi, one is liberated. So that is the meaning. And that here, he has beautifully explained that concept of Jivan Mukti here also. We will look at a few instances from our not very far away. Even in the recent past, we have living examples of Jivan Muktas who even people living in this world have seen them, like at this point of time. And we will come to that after we deal with the brief meaning of this verse. He Uma Mahesha, Kanchit Kalam, for some time. Kanchit means for some time. Kalam, time. Kanchit is some, Kalam is time. Kanchit Kalam, Bhavataha Padara Vindarchanaihi. For some time, engaged in offering puja to your lotus feet, Archanam. As we know, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. All forms of bhakti. So Archana, that is chanting Bhagavan's name and offering a flower or, kunkuma, any Archana to the feet, lotus feet of Bhagavan. For some time, being engaged in doing Archana to the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Kanchit Kalam, it is understood everywhere. Kanchit Kalam, Dhyana Samadhi Bhishcha. Dhyana. We know dhyana is meditating upon the supreme truth. So, some time engaged in meditation. Then for some time, Samadhi Bhihi. Samadhi, is that state of where yogis experience that union, that self-realized state of samadhi. Many yogis, like I said, for example, our Jagadguravaha and Ramana Maharshi and Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami of Sringeri from the recent past. Many such yogis are there where you see them in that state of samadhi. So that dhyana meditation and being in that state of samadhi that is attained with a lot of sadhana and blessings of gurus. Not, but it is a state definitely which everyone can attain, which is attainable. So, padara vindarchana, then dhyana, then samadhi. Natibhihi means offering pranams or salutations to Bhagavan. Kanchit kalam katha karnanaihi. For some time, listening to the stories or the leelas of Bhagavan. So when we read the Puranas, and the stories in the Puranas, or you read the leelas of Bhagavan or Devi, Bhagavati, or in any form, or if you see Krishna in Bhagavatam, it is so beautiful to listen to these stories of the leelas of Bhagavan. So for some time, being engaged in listening to the stories of Bhagavan. Kanchit, kanchid avekshanishcha. And for some time, avekshana means to see. That is beholding the beautiful form of Bhagavan as a visualization of Bhagavan and in temples. So when we, in this very Shivanandalahari, so many names of temples he has used very, very, Bhagavad Pada has used them very aptly. We have a reference to Kedara, Chidambareshwara, Vishwanatha, and Pashupati-natha. So all these are, and Kapalishwarar. So we have various deities in various parts. These temples are not just places, they are energy centers, which is why our elders and ancestors have consecrated the temples in those places. And so, beholding the form of Bhagavan in a temple, nutibhihi, by chanting the praises of Bhagavan. Nati is pranama, that is namaskara. Nuti is stotram or chanting or praising the glory of Bhagavan. Kanchid dashami drishim. So being in that state for some time in various forms, one is worshipping Bhagavan, engaging with Bhagavan, which is what Bhagavad Pada has told us here. Yaha tvadarpita manaha muda prapnoti. Yaha, the one who leads a life in this way. Kanchit kalam padaravindarchanaihi. Kanchit dhyana samadhibhihi. Kanchit natibhihi. Kanchit kalam katha karnanaihi. Kanchit kalam avekshanaischa. Kanchit kalam nutibhihi. Kanchit dashami drishim. He Uma Mahesha. Yaha tvadarpita manaha muda prapnoti. The one who attains you. How? Tvadarpita manaha, with the mind completely absorbed in you. So there is nothing else in the mind of that yogi apart from Bhagavan. Yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihinaha, yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. Again, Bhagavad Pada Shankara in Mohamudgaram or Bhajagovindam, popularly known as that. So, such a yogi, Brahmani ramate chittam, for such a yogi, the chittam, consciousness and mind, is always enjoying in that state of Brahmanandam. Ramate chittam, Brahmani. Nandati, nandati, nandatyeva. Such a person is always happy, blissful, not even happy. That is nandati. That is the state of Shivanandam or Brahmanandam. So how is he? Muda, very happy, blissful, the same thing in a different way Bhagavad Pada has expressed in that verse in Mohamudgaram. So such a person whose mind is completely absorbed in you, he or she, I mean, that is Jiva in that state, you don't say he or she, but the Jiva is extremely blissful, muda, and attains this state, yaha prapnoti, saha, Jivan muktaha khalu, such a person, such a jiva, Jivan, while living with this form, with this physical form, muktaha khalu, such a person is liberated. Isn't that so? Khalu means, isn't that so? Like in Hindi, we say, Hena, like that. Alve in Telugu, in Kannada. So that way, Khalu is that expression. Hey Parameshwara, isn't that so? So this is a very beautiful verse describing that state of Jivan Mukti and how Jivan Muktas also lead their lives. Now, if you think of the lives of our gurus like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, Sadashiva Brahmendra, Chandrasekhar Bharati Swaminaha, they are all Jivan Muktas. Now, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, we know his Aradhya Daiva, the Ishta Devata was Ma Kali. He used to engage in worship and he used to also give discourses and teach his very, he has very illustrious disciples like Swami Vivekananda. And being engaged in all these puja and other activities, there are accounts which tell us that he used to also be in the state of samadhi. He used to go to that state of samadhi and dhyana, and then he used to dance in ecstasy because he is in that divine blissful state. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, again, not very ancient, right? And coming more closer to our times, if you think of Sadashiva Brahmendra also, who was Jivan Mukta, and he has composed beautiful songs, like, for example, Manasa Sancharare Brahmani and Sarvam Brahmamayam Re. All of you should listen to that. And all those songs, he was a Jivan Mukta. And Pibare Ramarasam, it seems once his guru told him, he used to engage in a lot of conversation. And it seems once his guru told him to reduce talking. And then Sadashiva Brahmendra that moment decided that he will not talk anything. And if he utters any words, it would only be praising Bhagavan. So from that minute onwards, he only composed and sang songs, like it would just emerge from him. All these Sarvam Brahmamayam Re, and they are, immersed in Advaita, these songs, soaking in Advaita. And it seems there were some disciples who would go and tell the Guru, he is in some blissful state, he is singing and in that state of ecstasy. What has happened to him? And it seems the Guru told, I wish I had attained that state which my Shishya, that is Sadashiva Brahmendra, has attained. We are striving so much to attain that state, but he has already attained that state of divine ecstasy, that Brahmanandam. So he is an example of Jivan Mukta again. Closer to our times, Chandrasekhar Bharati Swaminaha of Sringeri, whom people living today have also seen some of them. He used to be in the state of Samadhi and they have seen him be in that state, and he was a Jivan Mukta, and he also engaged in activities, pujas, etc. And also Ramana Maharshi. So again, many of them living today have seen such a great yogi, Ramana Maharshi, who used to do pradakshina to Arunachala mountain, who was worshipping the Arunachaleshwara, and he was a Jivan Mukta who had attained that self-realization. And there are people, including Swami Chinmayanandaji Gurudev, certain accounts where we see that just by looking at, in one of the accounts, it's mentioned that Gurudev, when Gurudev Chinmayanandaji visited Ramana Maharshi, just by looking at Chinmayanandaji, the Ramana Maharshi could impart that jnanam. So that is the grace of a guru. So, but Ramana Maharshi also used to engage in this puja and dhyana and doing pradakshina to the Arunachala hill. So, why do Jivan Muktas engage in these things? That's another question. So, once a Jiva attains the Jivan Mukti, there is nothing else to be done. When we are engaging in our activities, we are accumulating punya, papa, merit, demerit, which will determine the future births, etc. Right? We come with this account of punya and papa. But once a yogi attains that state, like our Ramana Maharshi, Sadashiva Brahmendra, etc., there is nothing else left for them to be done. There is no kartavyam anymore. And they are not accumulating punya, papa, anything. They are just living in this form for however long they have to be on this earth in this form. And in that time, they are only engaging in spiritual activities in this way: Padaravindarchana, Dhyana, Stotra, etc. And by engaging in these kind of activities, whatever merit of punya they get, like I said, they don't have the accumulation of punya anymore. They give everything, their tapas, their penance is given for the welfare of the world. So that is how these Jivan Muktas protect the world. There is nothing they need in that state anymore. So very recently, we have seen when you all will be knowing Ramana Maharshi, when a surgery had to be performed in the last stages of his life, and he, of course, did not want any kind of treatment. But when his shishyas and doctors insisted and pleaded with him, he agreed. And he said he doesn't need anesthesia for the surgery to be performed. And is that something which even normal people can think of? And he could withstand that because he doesn't identify himself with the body anymore. Whatever pain, pleasure is for the body and not for the Atman. So he was in that state of Brahmanandam. So such people have lived amidst and are living yogis in this world. And this Jivan Mukti Sthiti, when they are in that state of Brahmanandam, the way they lead their rest of their lives, protecting the world and using their penance to protect everyone else. They are most selfless. They don't need anything for themselves. That is beautifully described in this verse by Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya. There is so much more to this. Please read up on Jivan Mukti and on some of these yogis who have attained Jivan Mukti. This also shows another importance of this verse is that it shows that inclusive and pluralistic nature of worship in Sanatana Dharma. There is no saying that you should only do this. And also, it gets monotonous. If you're doing only one kind, only Archana, the mind might tend to get distracted because of monotony which might set in. So all these kinds of worship here, Archana, Dhyana, Stotra, Pranama, then listening to the stories of Bhagavan in Satsanga, beholding the beautiful form, Murti of Bhagavan in temples, everything is a part of the engagement with Bhagavan and part of worship. And even those who have attained Jivan Mukti Sthiti, who don't have anything else to attain in this world, they've attained that ultimate liberation while being in this human form, they also spend their lives in this way. And we have examples from our recent history of yogis who have attained Jivan Mukti, who are spending their life in this way for the sake of the world, for the sake of the bhaktas, to protect them. Okay, so let us go through the meaning of this verse. O Uma Mahesha, the one who is ever united with Parvati, if a devotee with a heart completely surrendered to you spends some time in worshipping your lotus feet, some time in meditation and deep absorption, some time in offering prostrations, some time in listening to your divine stories, some time in beholding your sacred form, and some time in singing stotras of praise, then such a person immersed in these sacred experiences attains liberation while still living. This is Jivan Mukti. Indeed, such a devotee is truly free even while dwelling in this mortal body. Okay, let us read this, chant this verse. Kanchit kalamuma mahesha bhavatah पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चिद्ध्यानसमाधिभिश्चनतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्चनुतिभिः कञ्चिद्दशामीदृशीम् यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन समुक्तः खलु. So let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Also, very important announcement before we conclude. On 1st December, that is this Monday, we are having Gita Jayanti Parayanam in Vyoma. So it is going to be online. That is Mokshada Ekadashi, the day on which Gita was revealed to the world. So Bhagavad Gita Jayanti, on that day, we are going to be chanting all the 18 chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita online. So from the comfort of your homes, wherever you are, you can join us. It is going to start at 3:30 p.m. India time. So India time 3:30 p.m. It will go on for around 3 or slightly more than 3 hours till 6:30. We will conclude before 7 p.m. India time. We are also having our Vyoma children joining us this time for the chanting. So, all of you, please join us to chant all the 18 chapters. The slides will be shown, both IAST and Devanagari, like we are doing now. And we are going to be having that Parayanam on 1st December at 3:30 p.m. India time. So, I will share the Zoom link with you. It will also be live on YouTube. So please do join us. It's a very nice experience to do the Sampurna Gita Parayanam every year on this auspicious occasion of Gita Jayanti. So let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः आगामि शनिवासरे पुनर्मिलामः। राम राम राम।